Hello and welcome to the Next Generation Motorsports NASCAR GT series. We are in round 2 of Season 7 as we enter the first road course of the season, being Blue Moon Infield A. Last week it was Blue Moon Oval, and tonight we are doing its main road course, which is approximately a 1 minute 8 lap under race pace conditions. And our previous winner was Aston Lewis, as we are watching him now on his flying lap. Now, last season Aston Lewis had a battle with me going for the win. However, Aston dominated like he did in the entirety of the first part of the season, putting himself 4th in practice so far. And there's slight bits of caution from Kieran Cavern and Scott Sandover, just a little friendly tap, just giving him a little nudge on his way through. Both Nexus JMR cars running 55 diecast sponsored liveries. Kieran Cavern is in the grey with Jono Mills in the lovely gold livery. Rick Debray currently leading practice with a 1 minute 7.2 as he is currently up on his time in his pink Vinkling car. It's very bright, some may be blinded, but very nice. I believe last race he didn't do too well, or he didn't turn up, one of the two. He wasn't in the top 5, so hopefully he can get some good points on the board for this time around. One main difference between round 1 and round 2 is, instead of Jackson, the lobby host, instead of him calling all the cautions and telling the drivers when to go green, it will be me here on stream. So you'll be able to see my thoughts of the decisions and if it's worthy of a caution. Now, the caution rule is if 3 cars go around in a road course, then I believe that will be a caution to let everyone catch back up and everyone gets back in there ready to race once more. And when I say green this time, it will mean by the time the drivers reach the exit of the final corner between there and the start-finish line, they'll be able to go. Well, that small restart zone will be sponsored by 55 diecasts. They make incredible, well, they sell incredible diecasts from America to the UK over to the UK, which is very good, seeing as there isn't many places who do it much cheaper than 55 diecasts. So thank you to them for sponsoring the restart zone. As the clock hits 7 o'clock here in the UK, we are ready to go racing. Oh no, we have qualifying, I believe. That is my mistake. I didn't quite read the chat correctly. It is a 5-minute qualifying session tonight that will determine the overall grid to start the race, as we have Jackson Turner that has exited the pits first. I'm guessing it's because lobby host gets the best internet and the first priority to exit the pits. Following him is Jono Mills, and Ghost fired up behind him. Now we will go on board with Jackson once he starts his lap. I will try and talk you through, hopefully, a nice clean run. Kieran Cavone getting a little bit messy on his left side tyres, and there's one of the Aqua Regia cars, I believe Scott Sandover, making a move with an interesting livery from Ben Driscoll. He's running a very interesting 36 Greg's livery. However, we will go on board with Jackson Turner, if I can find him, to start qualifying. Now, up into 6th gear as he crosses the start-finish line. He's going to want to brake slightly late. It's a downhill braking zone. It's very off-camber as he gets good solid exits. Another hard exit as he has to go up the hill. That's not too quick into turn 3, as you want to maintain a good line and good exit as he takes a little bit of curb on exits, which it's the best line that the drivers have been looking at, as he brakes approximately 75 meters into the hairpin. 2nd gear on exit, close to the wall, and back down into 2nd. It's a long 2 left-handed hairpin. Now this final braking zone, it's almost not a braking zone, as he goes half on the brake, half on the power, accelerating through the final turn. This one's all flat out and it's a sprint to the line. Jackson Turner looking about a 106 lap time, and he hits a 106.7, very solid lap time there from Jackson Turner. Johnny Mills 1.3 seconds in behind him. Rick Debray 7/10 off of Jackson Turner, as Kabinski is 2/10 off the pace of Jackson Turner. Jackson, I believe he's gotten a fair bit of practice, approximately half an hour's worth. I guess those are the perks of being the lobby owner. And I believe that's Johnny Mills that has gone round. Yes, he has. He is on the racing line, which is not the best place to be in qualifying. He's got to get out of the way quickly. He doesn't want to block anyone. Now, it is fairly tight up at the top. The top 5 all within 7/10 of each other. Now, Johnny Mills causing a bit of an issue for the rest of the grid. He was completely sideways across the entire curb. Dominic Kabinski getting a bit loose on exit, getting the air too tight on his car, or being a bit too much on the power. Goes fired up, moves his car into 5th position ahead of Rick Debray by 33 thousandths of a second. Very good lap time for him. Around this track, you will always want to be in the top 5 in the running, seeing as those are the main points positions. However, it is a road course, so anything can happen. Now, who is running at the back? We will watch Huds cross the line with 3/10 off and 3 seconds off the pace. He is definitely run into a couple issues. He may, I believe he's on controller instead of the usual wheel, but that is uncertain. Now it looks like we've got a bit of a train forming back here as Aston Lewis leads Scott Sandover and Niall Kerrin through the double hairpin, as Aston Lewis just allows Scott Sandover past, as Scott Sandover just wants to get in front, but that is very dangerous driving there from Scott Sandover as he pushes Aston off the road. Jackson Turner going an extra couple of hundredths quicker, 12 thousandths of a second quicker, I should say, as he extends his gap. Rick Debray improves by how much is that? He improves by 6/10 of a second to reach P2 as we enter the last lap of qualifying. We'll move in front, as I believe Jackson Turner will lead the way to end qualifying. Huds, in fact, has just finished qualifying, and he is definitely going to start at the back. 1.1 seconds off of Niall Kerrin. That's not where you want to be going into this race. Hopefully we will see a bit more of a comeback from him. Jackson Turner, his first road course back from his commentary break, showing all the rest how it's done. The real-life NASCAR enthusiast with a very nice NASCAR-themed livery, lots of big sponsors. He is 8 tenths down. Now, Debray is crossing the line. He improves by 46 thousandths of a second, which leaves a small gap for Kabinski, and Kabinski does not improve. Will we see any big-time movers? Aston Lewis is 3 tenths off of the leader with that lap time. Not too far off of Kabinski, and Ben Driscoll not too far off of him. And that is qualifying completed. As who was that through the pits? Someone has gone into the pits. Very interesting. Now I will run you through our grid. Jackson Turner, Rick Debray, Dominic Kabinski, the Polish man in P3. Aston Lewis, sussy Among Us man. Ben Driscoll in his lovely Greg's livery. Scott Sandover, the first Aqua Regia car, goes fired up. Matt Julio, the American man, in P8. As it is the two Nexus JMR cars, Kieran Cavern and Johnny Mills in 9th and 10th, Noel Kerrin in 11th for Binkeling, and Huds at the back. As we get ready to go green, I really don't like this music, it is way too overpowering. 2, 3, 4 lights, and away we go. Jackson Turner gets us underway. It's a good start, but it's even better start for, I believe, the JMR car at the back. Rick Debray side by side with Jackson Turner. Aston Lewis going side by side with Dominic Kabinski into turn 1. Slight contact in behind from Ben Driscoll. And it looks like we are all clean through turn 1. The extra long left-hander, sorry. Rick Debray side by side with Dominic Kabinski into the very fast right-hander. Rick Debray getting quite loose on exit. Hopefully that won't affect his exit speed too much as Ben Driscoll looks to go down the inside of Kabinski. That move is looking very good indeed. Well done from the young Briton. Aston Lewis is dropped behind. I need to get the graphics up. Ben Driscoll has moved up into second place after a move on Rick Debray. Moving further back, Jackson Turner already has a 1 second gap in front. Scott Sandover making moves on Matt Julio through the final corner as he has to drop in behind into the draft of the American driver. Looking up further forward, Aston Lewis is looking to make a move on Ben Driscoll and Rick Debray, but he just can't quite make it as he got slightly loose going into the corner. Ben Driscoll defending hard from Rick Debray, and he is very loose on exit. Everyone's alright for now, but he has lost a lot of places. That is the first car around. Scott Sandover losing out hugely out there. Huds and Johnny Mills both getting past cleanly. And Ben Driscoll is around. No, he's just managed to keep that going thanks to a couple pushes from Noel Kerrin and Kieran Cavern. Now looking up front, Jackson Turner, it's lap 2 and he is already 2 seconds up the road. This is going to look like a very dominant victory if he can continue with this pace. Further back, Rick Debray is looking to get away from Aston Lewis as the slipstream is coming into effect now. Aston Lewis gaining approximately 3 tenths down the straight, while Ghost fired up at Adam Richardson, bumping him through the corner. Aston Lewis gained 4 tenths on this opening sector. He is 4 tenths up on Jackson Turner's personal best time. However, Aston Lewis is back in the draft. Will he brake later than Debray? There's no need, too far back. As that is Kabinski, who has made an impressive dive on Ghost fired up. He can't quite get the exit speed, so he cannot quite reach the overtaking position on Adam Richardson. Going back, Ben Driscoll making moves, going from 9th to 7th in the space of this lap. Very good stuff from the young Britain. E-Team Hard will be very proud of that, if they like this league. Dominic Kubinski bumping Ghost fired up to reach the battle of Debray and Lewis. Now these drivers are all separated by less than a second. Maybe they want to get, maybe Richardson and Kubinski want to help each other so that they can get involved in the fight for P2 with Debray and Lewis. I don't believe anything has happened further back apart from minor pace issues between Johnny Mills and Huds. And Niall Kerrin looks to go around the outside of Ben Driscoll into the final braking zone of this track. Ben Driscoll slams into the wall and he is around. We are going to need one more car to cause a caution and bring and completely neutralise this race. And I believe the caution is out. Now the race has been completely neutralised, as I noticed Huds was getting very loose through the corners and losing out. I believe he spun and that was the car number 3. Now I believe we can go green this time. As the drivers should be able to catch up at the back. Now Jackson Turner will look to continue with his dominant run of the last 4 laps. And we are go, go, go. We are green. Jackson Turner lights his wheels away. Smashes down the accelerator. Rick Debray wanting to go down the inside but chooses not to. Wanting to brake later, but he can't. Jackson Turner just in a league of his own. As Rick Debray looking to go side by side into the fast left-hander. Debray looking as if he can take the lead here. Jackson Turner, slightly makes contact. Gets a new line, being forced wider by Aston Lewis. And Rick Debray and Aston Lewis have both passed Turner, and that is very late on the brakes by Matt Pulio, who I believe has just stolen P2 off of Aston Lewis. Very, very late on the brakes by the American driver. Jackson Turner has lost out massively as he is side by side with Kubinski, who hits the, I believe he just hit the wall on exit, so Jackson Turner should be able to claim that position. And Ghost Fired Up is bumping Jackson Turner up past Kubinski. Matt Pulio looking to take the lead of the race. However, Aston Lewis is side by side with the American, getting the better line. Can Aston Lewis make it stick? No, he brakes too early and allows Rick Debray and Matt Pulio to pass. However, Aston Lewis has taken the place back on exit, and that is Niall Kerrin on the grass, losing out a lot of places there. I believe losing out on approximately 5 places. That is not so good for the for the Team Brit. And Kubinski very late on the brakes, forcing Matt Pulio very wide. Matt Pulio has lost 2 places due to that move, and Matt Pulio shoves him off. It's typical NASCAR driving. You take the mick, and that is 1 car round. We have Matt Pulio around. That is car number 1. as Debray looks to size up a move, bumping him down the straight to avoid Jackson Turner. Aston rather looking to try and manage the lines, but he just can't, as Debray and Jackson forces themselves past him. And was that Driscoll around? It is Ben Driscoll around. He is car number 2 of this caution counter, and Aston Lewis has just had a very scruffy exit, so Jackson Turner and Rick Debray can look to get away from this driver. And Johnny Mills, he has in fact gone further up and making a very nice move on Adam Richardson. Dropping further back, Niall Kerrin has moved up 2 places after his slight error at the start. Just very good stuff. While Kaminsky slams into the wall once again. That corner just isn't his best friend. Now we are all out of cautions for this stage. The next time will be a competition caution where all drivers will finish off for stage number 2 to begin. It's only the top 5 drivers that receive points in this stage, and we are going up to the end of lap 10. Johnny Mills just getting a bit loose on corner exit, unless he had a slight error with Ghost fired up. Now is that Scott Sandover or Ghost fired? It is Scott Sandover who was looking to make the move on Niall Kerrin, but Niall Kerrin dives a bit too far, late on the brakes, allowing Scott Sandover and Dominic Kaminsky to get a run on him, but Niall Kerrin just gets a better run. As we have entered the white flag period. This, nope, we are not entering the white flag period. This is the last lap for stage number 1. Jackson Turner needing to hold on to claim his stage victory. Rick Debray looking to cling on to P2. All these little points matter in the race down to the final, as Aston Lewis makes a lovely move down the inside, but Rick Debray gets the switch back on him. Will Aston Lewis look to make a move down the inside? No, he doesn't. He may want to get the slipstream ahead into the final corner, going down into the main straight. As the final corner is approaching, Jackson Turner will win this stage, as Rick Debray and Aston Lewis battle. Debray blocking Aston Lewis, he just can't quite catch him before the line, and it is Debray P2, Jackson P1, Debray P2, Aston P3, Ghost in P4, and I believe it was Scott in P5. And that is the competition caution for all drivers to slow down and maintain their positions. All of this allows Huds to catch back on the back. It's not been quite his day. He's been quite slow off the pace. He hasn't been able to keep up with his teammates. However, his teammate did finish in last place the last stage. It's not the best way for FR Bono Racing to go, but it's all good. It's only stage 1. And we will go green this time to sort all of things out into stage 2. Now it will be Jackson Turner, the Briton, leading us away, as we will enter the 55 diecast restart zone, with Debray wanting to catch on to him and Aston Lewis wanting to take that win back from last season. Aston Lewis just speeding away for no reason. I believe Aston Lewis has just... Aston Lewis, he has just taken complete control of the rules. And Aston Lewis, Jackson Turner, he was going below the caution speed. So Aston Lewis decided he just wants to go for it. If Jackson Turner is going so slow that he isn't maintaining caution speed, Aston Lewis is legally allowed to go. Now this may be overturned by the stewards, but it is not looking good for Jackson Turner as he has dropped down from 1st into 7th position, getting absolutely swarmed on the restart. Matt Pulio making a dive down the inside, going quite deep into the corner, going into 6th position. Rick Bray in P2 with Ben Driscoll looking to catch on to him. But all of these drivers need to work together if they want to catch on to the 3-second lead of Aston Lewis. Very smart plays by the young Briton. Now, he was doing that last season. Why had no one caught on to Jackson? Only Aston would know. Now Debray and Driscoll, they're being smart. They are bumping each other through, while Matt Pulio and Jackson Turner look to create a new line against the Aqua Regia cars of Ghost Fired Up and Scott Sandover. Jackson Turner is looking to go down the inside of Pulio. Can he quite make the move? Not quite yet. As that is Ghost Fired Up, he is off in the grass. That will not count towards the caution counter. And Kieran Cavern looking to size up the move, but he just can't quite catch on Adam Richardson's mistake. And Kavinsky wants that inside line against Kieran Cavern. It's a very nice move. It's a very nice exit. And Dominic Kavinsky takes 8th position. Moving further forward, Ben Driscoll and Rick Debray are not catching Aston Lewis. Aston Lewis has gained approximately 6 to 8 tenths of a second on that lap compared to the rest of the grid. That man is on fire. Not quite seeing too many moves. However, Jackson Turner going down the inside of Matt Pulio. But Matt Pulio wants that place back. He's going to go down the inside into the fast left-hander of turn 3. Scott Sandover wants involved as well. And Scott Sandover going around the outside of turn 5. He can't. The outside turns to look into the inside, and that is contact at the back. And Ghost Fired Up is around. That is, I believe, car number... no, that's car number 2 that is around. As Niall Kerrin spun earlier on in the race. Oh, and Matt Pulio has gone off. And that could be a caution, but no, it is not quite one yet. And I'm just being told in my ear that we have just had 3 cars. And that caution just came in the right time for Benjamin Driscoll as he made a move in the slipstream of Rick Debray. Now, in this caution period, everything gets neutralised. Everything goes back into square number 1. Aston Lewis will lead the grid. Hopefully he maintains his own caution speed counter. And I will tell the drivers to go green this time. As Null should be able to catch up for the 55 diecast restart zone. The grid on the restart for the top 5 will be Aston Lewis, Benjamin Driscoll, Rick Debray, Scott Sandover and Jackson Turner. Jackson moving up 2 positions after his nightmare of a restart to start stage number 2. However, Aston Lewis has gotten us underway for the rest of stage 2. Ben Driscoll looking for the inside line on Lewis. He can't quite make that move. He hasn't got quite the speed that Aston has going off of the exit. Rick Debray making slight contact with the wall as Scott Sandover is on his inside. Now they're 3 wide going into the 4th turn, and that 4th turn turns into turn number 5 as Johnny Mills is side by side with Jackson Turner. These two drivers love a little scrap. We've seen it before in the past. We'll see it again, hopefully more often this season. And Grisfeld also making a nice move down the inside now, around the outside, sorry, of Kabinski, but he can't quite make the move. He hasn't got quite the line. Moving further up the field, Scott Sandover has hit the wall on exit of the final braking zone, allowing Johnny Mills to pass and Jackson Turner also to pass. That is very key on this race for Jackson Turner to maintain his speed and maintain his route to victory. Aston Lewis and Benjamin Driscoll. These two, oh, Aston Lewis has been pushed by Driscoll. He isn't quite around, which will... is he around? No, he's just been hit into the wall by Driscoll. That will definitely be looked at by the stewards. And Kieran Cavern going down the inside of Scott Sandover. Very clean move. We like to see that. The 55 diecasts JMR Nexus car going very late on the brakes. He could take out his own teammate. That is very, very tight. While Aston Lewis makes a slightly skewed move on Scott Sandover. Scott nearly running into the rear quarter panel of Aston Lewis. Not very pog champ. We're going to go on board with Johnny Mills if he wants to go for a move on that Pulio. He's going to go around his outside looking into turn 1. Has he got his teammate behind him? No, he does not. But he has got the move almost complete. Going into turn 1, Matt Pulio, he's got the line, he's got the speed. He has got... Matt Pulio retains. Oh, as we look further forward, apologies, we are looking for the battle at the lead. There has been some contact between Ben Driscoll, Rick Debray and Jackson Turner. Jackson Turner has lost out hugely in this battle. Matt Pulio is into the podium positions. Matt Pulio, he could be going into the lead of stage number 2 if he wants to brake later than Rick Debray. It's very good, but Aston Lewis has made a horrible dive. That is horrible, horrible racing. That is car number 2, I'm going to say, that has gone around in this stage. However, we have gotten to the point where there cannot be another caution until the end of the stage. So we will go racing until that point. Matt Pulio is being bumped up the road by Aston Lewis. We have got another 2 laps of racing before these drivers stop and end the stage. Looking further back down the road, Rick Debray looking to hold on to his P5 position against Johnny Mills and Niall Kerrin. Niall Kerrin is on the rampage. He wants to get into that top 5. He's not been in there for quite a while. While Rick Debray is going purple in this race, Dominic Finsky currently holding fastest lap. It's not quite that big of a deal. No, there are no points on offer for fastest lap. It's just showing how quick you are. Well, that's some great defending there by Scott Sandover, defending his inside, allowing Debray to go around the outside, which will not work around this track. The inside line is typically the best line for racing if you want to maintain your speed and go into the next corner ahead. Going further forward, we are going to enter the last lap of the stage. Matt Pulio will lead us across the line. Aston Lewis going for the move. Jackson Turner also going for the move on Matt Pulio. 3 abreast going into turn 1. Jackson Turner takes the lead, but Aston Lewis has got the better line into turn 1. They're side by side still going into turn number 3. Matt Pulio still in there. Matt Pulio around the outside of Lewis. He can't quite make the move. Aston Lewis makes slight contact with Pulio's front end, but Aston Lewis having some incredible defending. But Jackson Turner is down the inside of Aston Lewis, and Rick de Bray is also in the battle, but Matt Pulio makes an incredible dive to defend his position. Scott Sandover also following Matt Pulio through on this race. Aston Lewis and Jackson Turner are side by side in the last braking zone. This race, this stage here is all about who gets the better exit. It's going to look like it's going to be Aston Lewis, but Jackson Turner has gone down low. Jackson Turner, he could take the stage here. And it is Jackson Turner that takes the stage, and that is our top 5 for the caution to come out. Oh, these guys just love racing. Jackson Turner giving it all he could, going nearly off the track to get that second stage victory. It's just incredible what this guy can do. Aston Lewis only just missing out on his stage victory. But Matt Pulio, some incredible defending and some incredible battles in that stage, going into the going down to the line. Scott Sandover getting ahead of Rick de Bray, which was very impressive. Now de Bray, he just missed out. It's very unlucky from him. As we will go green this time. Jackson Turner, he has just missed out on his P1 to retain on the stage restart. Aston Lewis continues to push forward while Matt Pulio has made a nice move on Jackson Turner. Jackson will look to take that place back, and we are all clean so far. And it's that Niall Kerry, he's just gone completely across the road. He is, that's Dominic Kabinski around, and that is a big collision. That is 2 cars around. That is stage counter number 2. It is not too clean of a restart on this opening lap. We will need 1 more car to go around for the caution to go ahead. Jackson Turner, he's looking for a couple moves, but he just decides to stay in the draft of Matt Pulio into turn 1. You don't need to make too many big moves in the start of the stage. See, it's all the big moves like to end up in the end stages like we saw last time. And that is a car around. That is the caution to come out. As Ghost fired up, he has just lost it. Yeah, I can see that. Some slight idiocy from the household, apologies. I will wait to see if all cars can make it. This time I was I was wrong in the previous caution where we shouldn't have gone green. I will make sure that all cars can catch up and will catch up. Now we will not go green this time, as we do not have Ghost Fired Up caught up to the pack. It would be way too late of a call if I call it now. So we'll go for another lap of caution. Now it was Jackson Turner that was leading the race as the caution was called. Matt Pulio, the American driver, in second place. Aston Lewis in third. Rick Debray in fourth with the pink Binkling car. Fifth is his teammate Noel Kerrin, and that is some very rough driving at the rear. The Greg's Dalton car of Ben Driscoll in sixth. Seventh is the Nexus JMR car of Ben Driscoll. And I will continue once we are going to go green. Now it is Johnny Mills in the gold 55 diecast Nexus JMR livery, with Kieran Cavern in the silver one behind him. The two FR Bono racing cars, Dominic Vinsky and Huds, in behind. Aqua Regia cars, Scott Sandover and his teammate Ghost Fired Up is behind. Now we will go back with Jackson to continue this race, as hopefully this should be the last caution of the race. Jackson Turner is underway to restart this race. Matt Pulio in second, and Ben Driscoll is looking on a move to go into fifth position. There's some door banging in there. It's looking like all clean. So far, Ben Driscoll makes the move. Well done to him. Jackson Turner continues to lead. Looking further back. We are all clean. And Scott Sandoval wants to make the move on Huds, but he just can't quite make it. And that is Kieran Cavern, who was just off the track. That is not so good for the Nexus JMR car. Hopefully we can be all clean through here. Johnny Mills looking to get on in the action for Ben Driscoll. And he's slightly forced him askew. But Kieran Noel Kerrin, apologies. He is in there too, but Noel Kerrin comes out on top. Slightly slams the wall, but he can't. Noel Kerrin makes the block on the driver. Moving further front, Rick Bray in the draft of Aston Lewis, moving ahead of Matt Pulio, the American driver who has lost out 2 places since this stage has begun. And there is one car around looking at the back. That is Ben Driscoll. Now, is Huds really slow, or did he spin? I believe he's just really slow. And that is a very nice move up there from Matt Pulio, or unless he's defending. Now he's looking for the switchback on Noel Kerrin. He can't quite make it stick, as Noel Kerrin has his rear end slightly in the way, allowing a bump from Pulio. As Noel Kerrin slams into the wall again. That's not so strong for the exit. Matt Pulio is alongside it's alongside Kerrin, sorry, and Pulio loses out on another position for Johnny Mills. But Matt Pulio looks to go down the inside of Johnny Mills. He is alongside, he is ahead of Johnny Mills. That is a nice little move on the inside there. I believe nothing too much will happen up here. However, Kieran Caverny is wanting to make moves up on Dominic Kubinski to get up with his teammates and move further ahead of the pack. But John Mills and Matt Pulio, I believe, there's some slight contact, door banging. Dominic Kubinski is forcing his way through with that number 72 Chevy. That is very forceful. I'm very impressed. Very good American driving there. While Matt Pulio gets down this inside in a poor line from Kubinski. The Polish driver for FR Bonner Racing. He's new to the series, but he is proving that he does like rough, clean racing. It looked as if we were 4 wide in turn 1. However, there were two sets of 2 drivers, 2 wide. That's a long sentence I never want to say again. And I believe Dominic Kubinski, that is driver around. That is car number 2 of this race. And that is a 3rd car. We are going to call the caution. Now that will completely neutralise the race. Jackson Turner has lost his 1 second advantage on the driver of Aston Lewis and Rick Debray. We will not go green this time, seeing as there is no way all of these drivers are going to catch up. Now we've seen a couple big movers. We've seen Kieran Cavern move up 5 places, while Ghost Fired Up has moved up 6 in that Monster Energy Aqua Regia vehicle. The Monster Energy Aqua Regia Chevrolet. My word, my words. Funnily enough, I've just heard across the room, Johnny Mills, he has just noticed that technically this could be 4 stages. As we've had a caution, we've had 2 stages in with 10 laps and 20 laps. Now we are going to say green this time, so all the drivers are raring to go. But there are no points on offer for this caution, unfortunately, but we are ready to go racing again to see who claims the maximum points. Jackson Turner, you've heard me say it a lot, but Jackson Turner will be leading this restart. And we are now away for the continuance of stage number 3. He weaves to the side, he avoids Aston Lewis's draft. But Aston Lewis, he's going to look for the inside on Jackson Turner. Jackson Turner slams the door shut on Lewis. Nothing can be happening out there. Sparks fly as the further back we go. All clean so far. All drivers, all clear of contact. Oh, Chim Kim Nungits. Incredible move by Niall Kerrin on the inside of Kim Cavern, but Kieran Cavern battles to defend. Niall Kerrin looks to attack, but he gets very loose on exit. Good save there by Niall Kerrin. There is a car around at the back. That is Dominic Kubinski. That is number 1 of this new caution counter. Jackson Turner has a 5/10 gap to Aston Lewis in behind. And Rick Debray is looking to get ahead of these two if they decide to battle. All of these drivers, all very quick, in separate leagues. both Debray and Lewis, they are very dominant. They are very quick indeed. But they are so quick compared to the rest of the drivers. These guys are constantly, and I believe we could, there is number 2 in the caution counter as Niall Karen is around. Kaminski is round again, but we are not counting him towards the counter. Aston Lewis appearing to have lost time to Turner and Debray, as Debray is right on his rear end as Kaminski has rage quit and left the race. Unfortunate for him. While these two drivers, Debray and Lewis, bump each other to get up to Jackson Turner. They have caught 6/10 down that straight. Very good teamwork between the two. They are very close friends. They do talk to each other daily. But they are very good rivals. They do like to race against each other. Sometimes it's clean, sometimes it's a little bit rougher, but overall these two are brilliant racers. Aston Lewis defending the inside from Debray, and I will close the door seeing as I may shout sometime. Debray getting a solid exit on Aston Lewis. They're going to want to catch Rick Debray will want to catch Aston Lewis as quick as he can so he can give the bump, so both of these drivers can capitalise on Jackson Turner. I don't think Rick Debray will be able to catch just in time. None of these drivers will be able to make a move unless Rick Debray goes down the inside of Aston Lewis. I believe they're still side by side, but Debray just tucks in. Very smart move there by Debray, wanting to keep teamwork ahead of the battles for points. Debray and Lewis, and I have a new follower, thank you. Debray and Lewis are going to want to keep together and get Jackson Turner in behind them. No one wants Jackson Turner to win 2 in a row. That would just be too much, as Aston Lewis is very loose out of the corner exit. That is not what we wanted to see, as Rick Debray is now inherited P2 after that very big costly error from Aston Lewis. Looking further back, Kieran Cavern has moved up into 4th position, while Ghost Fired Up is in 5th, battling Matt Pulio, as Matt Pulio has taken P5 in the drafting battle. Matt Pulio wants to defend the inside line, and he does. Very nicely done. Well done to him. Rick Debray catching on Jackson Turner as he has gone purple in this Sector 1. We have a comment. Hello. We're lap 35 of this race. Now, 5 to go, and it's currently Jackson Turner that has been dominating it all. Elvis saying, where did you from? Currently I am based in the UK. This league is a British league, slight spin-off on the real-life American series NASCAR, but we are racing online and in GT7. The Fast Formula 55 vehicle of Jackson Turner, he has been unstoppable today, winning, I believe, every single stage of this race. He has been rapid, no one can stop him, apart from perhaps Rick Debray, who is looking to get into his slipstream and catch on. The Dutch driver, I think he's won once in this series before. The 22 Binkeling car catches a 10th down that back straight through the hairpin, and away we go into the next section. Aston Lewis making some costly errors, which is not so good for his chance on winning this race. He's going to need a miracle. He's going to need something. He's going to need another car to go around within the next lap or so. Jackson Turner weaving away, trying to break the slipstream of Rick de Bray. Rick de Bray catching up down to 2.5 tenths of a second. And he's just going to get closer, but not quite yet, as Jackson Turner's cornering speed is incredible. But the exit is even better from Rick de Bray. He's caught an extra tenth on Jackson Turner. Rick de Bray, he could make a move down the inside on Jackson Turner, the blue 55 car, as he just decides to stick behind him for now. He's going to wait until the final lap, most likely. Aston Lewis is 1.9 behind, but de Bray, he is very quick in this pink Chevrolet car. They've just got it hooked up this day, tonight. Bray only 2 tenths behind, right on Turner's rear end. It's going to have to be one of these two drivers to win this race. As Rick de Bray going down the inside of Jackson Turner, getting alongside him, but he tucks back in behind. He's very tight to the wall there on the final braking zone exit. Go through the final corner. De Bray is side by side with Jackson Turner. We've got 2 laps of racing to go in this next generation motorsports NASCAR GT series, round 2 of Blue Moon Infield A. De Bray down the inside of Jackson Turner. Turner looking to go back around the outside of the Dutchman. These two are side by side into turn number 3. Rick de Bray continues along as Jackson Turner, he's just keeping a steady car. De Bray is moving all over the shop to keep that position tidy. De Bray wants this win. Turner, he wants the second win of the season. He wants 2 in 2. He may just be cooking here, as De Bray is slightly askew on exits, allowing Turner to get a little bit closer. But De Bray has been unstoppable the last couple of laps, and that is a huge slide from Jackson Turner. But did De Bray just slightly tap the wall? He did. Jackson Turner is catching on hugely now. This could be it as we are entering the final lap of the race. Who's going to take the white flag? It will be Turner that takes the white flag, and it is the final lap of racing. Here we go. Going on board with Jackson Turner. De Bray gives him a slight tap mid-corner. Jackson Turner, he is going to just stick behind him for now. These two drivers going back at it again one last time for the end of the race. The Fast Formula 40. Jackson wants to win his own sponsored race, but it's all just going to go. Jackson, he's going to go down the inside of Rick de Bray. He is very late on the brakes, and he maintains the inside line, but he will want to continue with the inside line so that de Bray cannot battle him into it. De Bray, he is very late on the brakes, very dangerous, I would say. That is not very smart racing from De Bray, but he has made it stick. It's alright. De Bray, he is going around the final corner. De Bray, Jackson, he can't stop it. He can't stop De Bray. De Bray tries to break the slipstream. It is Rick de Bray that will win the Fast Formula 40 in his 22 Bing Heeling car. Jackson Turner P2, Aston Lewis P3, Kieran Cavern Incredible comeback from him. P4 goes fired up P5 with Ben Driscoll in his Greg's 36 Dalton Autosport car in P6. Matt Pulio in 7th, Scott Sandover 8th, Jono Mills battling with Niall Karen straight to the line. It's 9th for Jono, 10th for Niall. Huds is coming along in 11th. Not a very good day for him. He doesn't even make the counter. I don't think he did. Very unfortunate. But it is Rick Debray that wins the race. Congratulations to Debray. I will begin a party with him for a interview. And here we have our race winner, Rick Debray. Hello. How does it feel to win the first road course of the season?
Oh, it feels very good. Oh, it feels very good. I had a lot of throttle issues today.
Yeah, we could tell.
Kind of stuff, and it feels so good. I suddenly had a lot of pace in the final couple of laps of the final stage. Oh, that was such a good battle with Jackson. Man, I'm very hot right now.
Well, we noticed we saw pretty much your entire battle of stage 3. Tell us, how did you get that extra pace from around lap 30 to the end? Because you just dropped Aston and you just continued to catch and catch and catch.
Yeah, Aston made a mistake, and I've been driving behind Jackson for almost the whole race. So I kind of just analyzed all his racing lines and his braking points, and used that against him. So yeah, watching others makes you faster sometimes.
Very smart. Well done there.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ricky, for coming in for the very quick interview.
Yep.
Congratulations on your win.
Thank you. Yeah, that was good fun. Hope
good.
Next week will be the same.
Anything you want to say to the stream? Be family friendly.
Have you done everything you said you should have done?
I did most of it actually.
Oh, okay, that's good. And you need to learn how to call cautions, lol.
Yeah, it's my first time, alright? I was learning.
Yeah, okay, don't worry about it, it's hard.
Alright.
Prepare for some bitching.
Yeah, I know. Thank you for joining us, Ricky. Thank you for watching the stream, and